Hi everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. My website is www.twinflames3344.com and my email is the same at gmail.com. If you need any of my services, again, the addresses are below, as well as some information about my services. I have a CD out called Ashes, Twin Towers to Twin Flames. This is the CD. Okay. And that's my dad and myself. Okay. And it's piano and voice, and they're love songs. 7 of the songs were written on my journey last year, and they are activating because they have my third energy attached to them. So they are very healing, and hopefully you will enjoy listening to them as well. So that's available on iTunes, Amazon, Google, and CD Baby. If you need any coaching or tarot card reading, I do a channeled tarot card reading. As you know, you may notice when I do the read here, messages do come through and get confirmed for me while I'm reading cards. And I do numerology as well, so if you'd like your personal numbers done, so you know what your numbers are, so you know when you're syncing and seeing license plate numbers, I'll be happy to do your numbers for you. Just drop me an email if there's something that you'd like that isn't on my website. Okay? So today I'm going to do a traditional read for the Divine Masculine Twin Flames. I think you guys like the traditional read better than the Divine Triangle, but you know, give me some feedback on that. Today we'll do the traditional read. I have male headings, and I have some stuff that came through in the past few days that I want to share with you. So the male headings I have are 1228, the Real Self Team. So again, it's about being your authentic self. 220 was Michael's, make sure to clear yourself. And the number 7 came up with that, 7 deals, and then 70. So I got the 7 deals, whatever the 7 means to you. The 70 means it's supported by God or Source, or however you want to term that, or Prime Creator. Okay. 417 is Shutterfly, and what I was getting from that was that someone is spying or seeing what you're seeing, so there may be people coming through and actually seeing what you're seeing, whether it's your twin or other people checking in on you. 424 is Group on View. Okay, so that kind of syncs back to people are tuning into you, that there's more than one person viewing what you're viewing. 606, Puritan's Pride. Again, pride is still an issue. And to view images, okay? So for the Divine Masculine especially, make sure to meditate and use your third eye, practice using it so you can see images to confirm things for yourself as well as others. 645, it's confirmed. Okay, these images will confirm things for you. 701, Musician's Friend. So maybe there's a musician's friend who's important for you to connect with. 813, these are the colors of the season, and I specifically got the numbers for this, 8 and 13. It's all about transformation, because 8 is about, you know, the 8th house is about deep transformation, and 13 is the death card, rebirth. So it's all about huge transformation. The colors of the season. 820, starting now. Okay, so it's transformation. And then web, so it's all about communication and making contacts, reaching out to other twins. For help, for friends, for communication, whatever it is, for contacts, for business. 824, French or regular. And then the number 25, if that means anything to any of you. 829, 2 days only. 846, break, period. Whether that means take a break or there is a break. 849, 2 days only, again. And then the name Jack came through. If that means anything to any of you. 928, don't forget. Maybe that's a reminder for Jack, don't forget. 928, Amazon. Maybe there's a present you need to buy. 937, deal you in, and in is in capital letters with 2 chevrons next to it. And chevrons comes up again in something else for me. I'll tell you that in a minute. And then I got 60 to 80% clearance. Okay, so that has to do with the twins, okay? So a large amount of twins are getting cleared. 950, the number 1499, if that means anything to anyone. 1122 was USAA, but I was getting us, archangels. Okay. 1124, 48 hours only. Again, so that's the third time, 2 days only. 1138 is homeopathy right for you? So, you know, if you're in need of any medical assistance or just anything in that sort, you know, to look for holistic types of therapies as opposed to traditional medicine. 1148, raising money to help seniors. 1206, we've heard you. Your guides heard you. 1218, musician's friend again. 1221, please add. Okay, so maybe there's a musician's friend that you left out that you need to add. Please let me know if it's something else. 1225, for you. 1226, ends soon. Explore. And I just got a connect to that card to explore your feelings, romantic feelings that are worth exploring. It's not too late to give pink, okay? And that's the soft pink light, compassion energy. Use your, you know, draw in the pink light through your crown, wrap it around your heart, send it out to others, including your twin. 1251, attachments expires November 24th, 2017. And then the name Dan came up, as well as the numbers 205 and 1216, if that syncs with anyone. At 205, The Motley Fool. And then a movie I was watching, it was 1914 in Philadelphia, if that syncs with anyone. The other messages I got over the past few days, October 22nd, Steps to Heaven, the Seven of Cups card. I was getting, not about confusion, but the Seven of Cups is reminding us that you can't skip steps to get to where we're going. Each time you fall and purge is another step on your way up. And I sync that with Janet from Awakened Warrioress, where she talks about the diving birds. They keep diving until they're fully cleared, and then for the steps, you know, once you're fully cleared, then you awaken. It's like coming into the vortex. You know, the circles of clearing are big to begin with. You know, lots of crying to get out of back into joy. But once you get good at it and it gets small, you get closer to the vortex of the tornado, and that's when they get, you know, really quick as far as going from joy to purge, because you know how to come back from it really quickly because you're in the vortex, and that's when you're close to union. Okay. Also, the letter E came up. I don't know if that's a reference to Eve, and being that I'm Evelyn is little Eve. Yes, to take those steps, but also you can't skip steps to get where you're going. So don't worry about being wrong or making the wrong decision. You can't. You're on this journey. You're being guided every step of the way. And we're clear, and so many unions are coming up very soon. Don't judge yourself, and don't worry about the decisions you make, whether to see your twin or not see your twin. Just do what you're guided to do. Follow your guidance. Make sure to ground yourself and meditate so you're clear. Okay? And just follow your instincts. Ask for help. That's a block that came up for a lot of people. People aren't asking for help because so many people have been in life have just been kind of put in a position to have to depend on themselves all the time, so they're kind of afraid to ask for help, because then when it comes time to depend on themselves again, they won't be able to. So it's really important to ask for help. I also got a message about Niagara Falls. I was seeing long lines to see a pyramid there, that there was a portal there that relates to peace in Egypt. So I'd love some feedback on that. Again, I saw lots of people lined up in Niagara Falls going to a pyramid, and there was a portal there, and it has to do with Egypt. And the Egypt part was peaceful. Then on the 23rd, I got my clock stopped at 9:52. If that syncs with any of you, 52 was something specific to me. I was getting Thriller, the Michael Jackson routine, as well as Man in the Mirror. And I know Michael Jackson was coming up for a friend of mine as well. The Sphinx and Walk Like an Egyptian. And the V. Just like the Roman numeral 5. What I was getting from that was it's the incomplete triangle of the Divine Masculine, that the Divine Masculine needs to connect their wings to their heart. And lots of sexual energy coming through the last few days, but in a positive way. And also there's lots of dark interference, you know, computers, telephone calls, just in general with doing your regular connections, but no fear, just clear, okay? We're protected, but you need to clear yourself. That's just should be part of your daily practice. Clear yourself and put up shields. You know, call in Archangel Michael, call in God, you know, whomever you choose to help you protect yourself, okay? And clear yourself. On the 24th, I was getting that the masculine is in the pressure cooker. Speaking of which, I'll show the next one. The pressure cooker. I heard the song More Than Words, and it was right after I'd had a conversation about someone saying that they just want to be heard, because when the other person's talking too much, they're not being heard. And then the song More Than Words, so they want more than words. Then I heard Tell Me What It Takes to Let You Go. And then I was looking at the Ace of Pentacles reversed, and for some reason there was a bush on there that kind of was shaped like a horseshoe, and I got Omega from that. Omega, and that happened to be on the 24th, and Omega is the 24th letter of the Greek alphabet, and its value is 800, and my destiny number is 80, so that really synced with me. And it led to, when I looked up the definition for specifics, it also led to a shamanic website. I got the name Bonnie. I got that burdens were done, and that cures magically appear today. Also, Saturday the 21st was when I came across deer, and deer were in conversations this week. And then I got for the masculine, with the masculine is in the pressure cooker. He's like a deer in the headlights, and I wanted to show you the picture. This was on Saturday on my street. Okay, I ran right into him. He's just staring at me. And they never come out into the street when I'm walking out there. There's a park across the street, so sometimes they're out on the grass or in the woods, and they usually run away. But he didn't. He was just staring right at me. Cats came up. Lions and tigers and jags. Did you know that jags don't roar? They're the only cat that don't roar. They're the only, you know, wild cat of lions and tigers and leopards and such. But not only those kind of cats, but there's a cat that has, I don't know who he belongs to, but he's on my deck all the time. And yesterday he was everywhere guarding my house. He was on my trash can, he sits on the hood of my car. He's usually out on the deck. But yesterday, and I have pictures of him, he was peeking through my front window, through the flowers. So I got this great picture of his little face through the flowers. But he was I have deer underneath my piano, and he was looking at the deer underneath my piano. Then he was sitting on the ledge on my bedroom window. Plus, when I was sitting out on the lawn, he came up, you know, and was begging me for attention to pet him. And then I saw him again last night. He was on my car, on the hood of my car last night. And then when I opened the door, he came up the steps to say hi to me. So there's protection everywhere, is what I'm getting from that. Okay, you are protected. Okay, so now we're going to get into the Divine Masculine read, and this is just for the Divine Masculine. I'll pull a couple cards for the Divine Feminine at the end too, but this is for the Divine Masculine. The bottom of the deck, and this is the Golden Universal Tarot. It was like this. So it's the Ten of Swords clarified with the Justice card and the Six of Cups. but I looked at the cards beneath this card. This is the bottom of the deck, so the underlying energies. And it was about the Divine Masculine making plans for his twin and working very hard to get there. But not this coming up moon, but the last full moon, that a scorpionic type of sting came out at the last full moon that the Divine Masculine is not aware of. This only happened with the Divine Masculine, so the feminine isn't aware of it. But this was the last full moon, and this came up twice, that the full moon came up before now, okay? So this is about the end, the Ten of Swords is all about betrayal, but it's also the end of the sword cycle. It's endings of pain. And it's like the last full moon was the start of the end of the pain. And there's justice here with the Six of Cups. So, the Justice card can have to do with any kind of legalities being finalized. But it's also about justice for the twins and justice for the children. Justice for a happy past. Something gets balanced when it comes to the twins or a friend from the past or your children. But it's all about happy memories of the past and happy type experiences with children or the twin. There's justice there, balance, after a betrayal. But there's definitely at the last full moon some strong negative energies where Scorpio is coming out, because Scorpio wasn't in yet at that time. I don't know what planets were in Scorpio at that time, if any, but now we're in Sun sign Scorpio. So the other underlying energies from the mini deck, I don't have to do this. The bottom of the deck is the Nine of Pentacles, but you see how there's the Ten of Swords reversed is here, and the Moon, which is just like the other deck, the Ten of Swords and the Moon, and that never happens, and two decks right next to each other, okay? And then underneath that is the King of Pentacles. I'll show you that again. Okay, so it's the Nine of Pentacles. This is the Ten of Swords and the Moon, and then the King of Pentacles. So you see the King of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles looks like a couple. But I also, what I saw from these three cards together was that the Divine Masculine is peeking out from underneath and seeing that no matter what pain, and Spirit's connecting with me, no matter what pain and betrayal comes through to the Divine Masculine, that his Divine Feminine feels everything too. You see how when the swords come out, they fall upon her? See that? He's got swords in his back. So when they fall out, they fall on top of her. So she shares all of that with him. And he's seeing that now. See? He's peeking out and seeing that now. That just because she looks like everything's easy for her, that she's got everything she needs and life is peaceful for her, she doesn't get what you're going through. You have to understand that she's feeling everything that you're feeling. And this again relates to the last moon, because the Divine Feminine wasn't ready for it, but since the last moon she's been traumatized and was not expecting that at all. But it still is about the underlying energy of the Divine Feminine doing well. And there being independence there. Maybe some of the Divine Masculines have found their independence as well. And maybe there's a breakup at the last moon. And the Divine Masculine is getting their footing and gaining their independence. And learning to be okay on their own. Relying on themselves only. In the past, and there's a big Ace of Swords there next to this, reversed. So that's about the lies or the lack of clarity of the situation. In the recent past, the Divine Masculine has the Strength card. Okay, and that's clarified by the Strength card again, the Hangman reversed, where he's awake, and then the Eight of Swords, which is a prison in the mind. So the Strength card is positive, it's upright, and it's about being strong. Could be about a Leo in the past. It's about being imprisoned. My first feeling was being strong and awake, but still feeling like they're imprisoned for the Divine Masculine, even though they're awake. But you know, when the Hangman's reversed, it can also indicate a big head, a big ego. And we are dealing with the Strength card here in the Lion. So if you're using the Strength card, and I'm seeing the Infinity in the wise way, see, when the Hangman's upright, his head's down here, right? Because he's hanging around being wise. He's having, you know, in the traditional deck, the Hangman's supposed to be hanging because he's seeing things differently than everyone else because he's being wiser. Okay? And he's being patient about thinking things through before taking action. Whereas when it's awake, he's either discovered the answer and has a light bulb moment, or he's not taking wise action because he's got a big head. So it's either about having the inner strength and being illuminated, or having the outer strength and being conceited. Either way, the Divine Masculine is still feeling imprisoned in his thoughts. Okay? Because there's still lies out there. Okay, so this is hanging out here as a clarifier as well. Okay, that's about needing clarity and lies, just lies. And needing to cut through to the truth. The foundation is the King of Swords. Okay, this is where the Divine Masculine is very comfortable as the King of Swords, being very logical. Okay, so after this betrayal, getting it together in his independence and being logical, because that's where his comfort zone is. It's hard for him to go into his feelings at this time where he's just trying to get himself together. The other underlying energies, before I clarify the King of Swords, is for the Romance Angels, is past life relationship. And that says you've known each other before. Getting to know each other is underneath that. So there is this underlying energy for the Divine Masculine of thinking about getting to know someone. The Tarot of Sexual Magic, which this is the back here. Okay, that is the Eight of Swords. Okay, and that indicates a cheating scenario or someone stealing. It's like distracting someone so another person can steal or get away with something. So that was the underlying energy for the Divine Masculine, and it had to do with, you know, being tied to someone, but not in a great way. Okay, as a karmic tie. That's the Seven of Pentacles. It's obsessing. And the other underlying energy is intuition, and that's all sacral chakra. It's like a burnt orange, so it's kind of rooty, but it's sacral. It's very orangey. 22 is a 4. 4 is stability, building, security, protection. 2 2s, it's all feminine energy. So it's being feminine on the inside and the outside. It's like it's appearing to be exactly who you are. Intuition. And using your creative and sexual energy. Underneath that is self-discipline. So it takes self-discipline to use your intuition, because if you don't meditate on a regular basis, you know, you lose your connection. So it's a reminder to do that. We also have as an underlying energy the Five of Swords. Okay, this can be a person who's kind of taking down people without caring what he does to them. You know, there's injured people in the background of this card, you'll see. But it also can just be self-defeating thoughts, you know. You constantly speaking negatively about yourself, to yourself, that you can't do things, you know, self-defeating. And the Justice card is underneath that. So maybe that someone conquered their thoughts after getting justice. You know, they're not conflicted anymore. So those are the underlying energies. So using your intuition about there's some sneaky thing that was going on, related to this past life relationship, and betrayal, and elimination at the last new moon, or the last full moon. And, yeah, taking someone down. Or defeating your own thoughts, which is good, actually. For the King of Swords in the foundation, the clarification cards are the Seven of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune reversed, and the Star reversed. Okay? So he's still working on himself. He's still depressed. The wheel's slowed down. He's trying to figure out what his options are. And don't forget, my reference to the Seven of Cups this week was about not being able to miss any of the steps to where we're going. There's 7 steps here, and you can't skip one, because then you'll be, later you'll have to come back and make that up. So it's not just about the multiple options, it's about all the steps that you have to take if you want to get to that great love. But the depression is slowing the wheel down. Okay, because the Divine Masculine is in his logical. He has to start getting into his heart if he wants things to go forward. The central card is the Six of Pentacles, clarified by the Page of Cups. Okay, so that's very positive. It's all about give and take, sharing, charity. It's about balance in a relationship. And the Page of Cups. So it could be the Divine Masculine finding balance in his life with his children, because they're offering their love to him, to comfort him. But it's also about the Divine Masculine wanting to offer some kind of love to someone else, like his Divine Feminine, to make up for the imbalance in their relationship. Or in their karmic relationship. Could be either. The challenge for the Divine Masculine is the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is all about, he's a workhorse. It's about slow movement forward, but it's very sure-footed. So this is quality movement forward. And it's also an offer. And he's offering to the next card next to it, which is the Ten of Cups. So the Six of Pentacles could have to do with a breakup that's going on, and he's offering some kind of financial restitution, a friendship offer for what's going on, and there may be a Leo involved. Okay, it's clarified, the Knight of Pentacles is clarified by the Magician and the Five of Wands. Okay, so this is about, the Five of Wands can be about fighting. It's also about competition and playtime. That's clarifying the Knight of Pentacles, wanting to make an offer to his family. So he's trying to make magic. He's trying to fix things without fighting. There could still be arguing, and that's why he's trying to make an offer to make peace, to make magic. He's finding his confidence. It can also be just about games, so it could be about him offering to, go do sports with his kids or whatever, play games, compete. But either way, he's trying to make peace through this practical offer. It could be financial, it could be practical. But it looks like it's, you've got the Six of Pentacles in the middle here, trying to balance things out. So again, that can be practical as well as financial as well. But there is some love involved here, because we have the Page of Cups. But it's a small love, so it's a child, or just, the beginning of a love, or maybe just a friendship offer to smooth things over. And it's in line with the Strength card. So there may be a Leo, and then there could be earth signs involved, which is Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. And then because of the King of Swords, there could be air signs involved as well. So that would be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. in the heart and head of the Divine Masculine, we have the World. Okay, so that's about coming full circle. The clarification cards here are the Ten of Wands reversed and the Temperance card. Okay, so this is very positive. It's about ending a chapter in their life, ending a life cycle, coming full circle. In his he sees his feminine in the mirror, which is great. And again, I'm seeing the eagle again, and Archangel Michael, and the lion, which is the Leo. And we're talking about cats. So there's definitely a sync there. That if you see horns, the bull is dark energy. it's reminding us, okay? But because of the patience of the Divine Masculine and the give and take, and the taking one step at a time, and him gaining his wings, he is able to let go of his burdens and complete a project or complete a cycle of his life. And I'm getting, I had a couple other clarifications from the Gilded, if this is the deck here. The Lovers and the Page of Pentacles. And this came out, also the Ace of Swords reverse came out with these two, but separate from these two. So it's regarding some kind of lie or deception, or that has to do with the Lover and the Page of Pentacles, right? Which are next to the World and above the Strength card. So it's about the Divine Masculine being strong enough to wait to get to this new project that he wants to start with a lover. But it could also be a child who's sneaking around with a boyfriend who's lying to their parents. Okay? But they're both upright, so it doesn't look like a bad situation. They're both upright, but there is the lie involved with that. In the near future is the Ten of Cups. As I said before, that the Six of Pentacles connects to the Ten of Cups. And this is about completion of a family cycle. Okay, there can be happiness there, but it's also the 10 is the end of a cycle. So we have the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Cups now, and the World, upright, complete. The Ten of Cups is clarified by the Tower, the Five of Cups reversed, and the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so this would indicate disruption at home. Okay, a lot of disruptions, all right? You got the Tower card. So this is the situation in this Ten of Cups home. It looks pretty on the outside, but it's really falling apart. There was sadness, but it looks like people are getting over their sadness about this. And they're getting back to the, the juggling of the daily routine. Whereas before they may not have been able to, because they were having some, some sadness going on. Maybe some regret. I'm just dealing with those issues, which led to someone being out in the cold. Someone was either kicked out of the house or left the house, but didn't have a place to go. The Divine Masculine is seeing himself, and here the Page of Cups comes up again. He's seeing himself as the Page of Pentacles, I'm sorry. In the clear. With growth in the distance. Okay, so he's just starting out with this could be a new message of a project or some kind of money or loan, that kind of thing. It could be coming in or going out. The clarification cards are, and it could be a child as well. Clarification cards are the Two of Cups. This is the Four of Swords reversed, and then here's the Five of Swords. So that looks like somebody conquered a relationship. But he has a smile on his face. And the Two of Cups is upright, so it doesn't look like a negative thing. The Four of Swords is about being up at night. It's like the Divine Masculine's proud of himself because it was so hard for him spending nights up, not sleeping well, to make peace in this relationship. Yeah, and yes, people were hurt, but in the end it worked out okay. That's what it looks like to me. And then he's able to offer a little something or start a new project that is ready to go forward. Around him is the Star card. Okay? So this could be an Aquarius as well. So this is clarified by the Lovers reversed, the Seven of Swords, and the King of Wands reversed. Okay? So this is not telling me that the Star card has its upright qualities. It has its reverse qualities, which can be of depression, needing to heal, or not having your dreams come true, not having hope, which is depression. Because the Lovers are reversed, there's a failed relationship. It looks like what came out next to this, but separate from these three, was the Knight of Cups, but this is upright. And it's on top of the Romance Angel cards that came out, which I want to show you, which were Free Yourself, It's time to take back control of your life, and then New Love. And that says a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So the Free Yourself card was on top, and you see that there's a unicorn there in a fenced in. But with the two knights on this card, it was like the Knight of Wands reversed was like the horse fenced in a cage, because the Divine Masculine when in this relationship, this lover's relationship that failed, was because in trying to be the Knight of Wands, and this could be an Aquarius person too, who was like this, that, you know, they thought they were all that, but they were really stealing something to gain something, you know, taking from someone else to make themselves look good. And here's the Knight of Wands, you know, who would normally rush in quickly and passionately, is reversed. So it's like someone who's full of these promises but never actually come through. You know, like they stop in their tracks when it comes time. So you're really stealing from someone else, and that was the failure of this relationship. And this, again, may have to do with an Aquarian person. And this is where the Divine Masculine feel he's succeeded in taking this down, but in a positive way, and not allowing this anymore. And because the Knight of Wands was inside this fence, trapped in, and being told to free himself, he has now become his true self, who is the Knight of Cups. Now, yes, the Knight of Cups can be the charmer who charms all the ladies, but that would be more of a negative connotation, okay? Because the Knight of Cups, he is the knight who's about love, so they can't all be bad, right? There have to be some real princes out there in the world. Okay, so this is very positive in this respect. And again, they were on the top of Free Yourself. So he's being freed from being the player to being his true, sweet, romantic self. Okay? The hopes and fears are Five of Pentacles. Okay? And that's clarified with the Eight of Pentacles and the Judgment card reversed. So, you know, when you're out in the cold, you can't be judging others, right? So it's kind of learning that lesson. When you're out in the cold, you can't focus on work because there's a lot of stress involved. Or you may have to work too hard because now you have to get a job that's not paying you enough. So you have to work more hours. But it's hard to focus when you're feeling that way. And instead of being in judgment, you're forced to be non-judgmental. And they're outside of a church too, so it's that fear of being judged, and then after them having judged others, kind of having it turned around back on them so they can learn that lesson. But they're still out in the cold with somebody else. They have help. And if that's the Divine Feminine, all the Divine Masculine has to do is reach out right in front of him. She's right there. And then there's church. There's help too here. That's God, right? The church. And your guides. So before the outcome, the numerology deck, the card that came out is Love Partnership, which is number 26. It's blue, so blue is the throat chakra, and then we have a burnt orange, which is sacral chakra. So it's about speaking up. If you want to have a love partnership, right? If the sacral is all about creativity and sexual energy. So it's about communicating that sexual energy, and there has been a lot of sexual energy coming through the past few days. So it's the masculine energy reaching out to the feminine in that respect, using their intuition. The Tarot Sexual Magic, on the left side, we got the Two of Pentacles, the Judgment card again, and then the Lovers again. Okay, that's on the left side of the outcome. So maybe relating to the feminine. So it's about him dealing with the judgment of maybe having feelings for more than one person at the same time. Whether he's in a relationship or not, it could just be feelings. And it could be him wanting someone who's got different personalities in a relationship. It doesn't have to be about two people. It's about his desire to have someone innocent and sexy. And will he be judged for that? Will he be judged for having been in a relationship but thinking about somebody else if he comes out with his truth and sneaks up on somebody, right? Will he be judged by the person that he wants to talk to and be with? Okay, so he's worried about being judged for loving two people, or wanting to love someone who's got, different personality traits. And maybe that's not the way he was raised, to want someone like that. So that's difficult for him. On the right side of the outcome card, so the masculine side, we have the Eight of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Devil. Okay, so that's all about passion and harsh truth, or kinky sex and the devil. Okay, so this harsh truth about what he's experienced sexually, or what he desires sexually, or what he's been forced into sexually, is something that he's judging himself about, and is worried about being judged as well. That's on the masculine side. Or how he was raised, that a man's supposed to be. He's supposed to be the dominating one. But here specifically it's showing the female being dominating, and that someone's taken his penis off. Someone's got him by the balls. Okay, so there may be some sexual control in the last relationship. The outcome card is the Six of Swords, which is really peace. Right? It's a peaceful place. Think about being out on the water floating. And this person, this boat, they're alone. They're just being, they have someone to row the boat, but they're spending time alone, thinking about all of these things. There's a lot about sex, about two people, about the kind of sex they want, about maybe the kind of sex they thought they want, because that's what they were taught to be like, but it's not really who they are. There's a lot of conflicting thoughts in the Divine Masculine. And there's more clarifiers here. I can't show it. They're all together, but you'll see them. So we have the Seven of Pentacles reversed, the Ace of Cups, the Sun, the Ten of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and then the Six of Pentacles reversed. So in order for him to get to this peaceful place, he had to stop waiting around for love. Love himself first, look to the sun, illuminate things about his love, to make his family happy, and then to talk to the Queen of Swords about correcting the imbalance of their relationship. Queen of Swords can be Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, but can also be just some of those qualities. It can often be thought of as a Virgo as well. Because the Virgo can, you know, the Virgin, so it can tend to be seen as a prudish person, and so the Queen of Swords, you know, is very protective of her feelings because she's been really hurt. But she's a good communicator. But she's communicating a lot in this card. She's got her hand out. She wants to say what she wants to say, and it's about all of the imbalances she's experienced. But it's good because it's communication at home, and for the Divine Masculine to come to peace in his head. Maybe they're talking about, you know, the Divine Masculine with his karmic. They're discussing their sexual relationship and what was working or not working in their relationship, and what they really want, that kind of thing. They're coming to a better place and understanding each other. If they're splitting up, why it happened, that kind of thing. Or if they're staying together, what's going to make it better for them. But it looks like it's the completion of it, because it is full circle to a calmer place. The betrayal of the King of Swords. And there may have even been a child involved with that, you know, maybe innocently, not knowing what they did. And then the strength, you know, to make restitution, to make balance with the challenge of going forward in the family unit, although someone may be left out in the cold. And there's still some cheating and sneaking around vibes, so there could have been some theft or cheating, lying, that kind of thing. There's an underlying energy there, but that might have already happened with the last full moon that's being played out now. Okay, but that's to have a sword at the end. That's the Six of Swords is great because it's really peaceful energy. And it's regarding the love partnership. I wanted to pull a card for the Divine Feminine as well. So, I'm just going to pull one card. For the organic Divine Feminine Twin Flames. Okay, this is for the Divine Feminine. Oop. Okay, and we got the Nine of Cups with the Eight of Swords reversed, which is amazing. It's about complete satisfaction and being released from mental prison. Nine of Cups is also about, charity and giving to others and how satisfying it is. It also can be hanging out with friends at a bar or just at home, relaxing, having a drink, but very content and no more mental prison. So hopefully that's an indication that this read was able to free you from your thoughts. Yeah, it's really nice. And the bottom of the deck, in case you're interested, is showing that the Divine Feminine has not been grounded. Okay, that you're not grounding yourself enough. Get outside more. Make sure you're drinking enough water, the usual. Make sure you're meditating or some kind of grounding every day. Because it'll always help you feel better again. Okay, don't be sneaky about getting out of stuff that you don't want to do. That you have the ability to make magic. So have confidence in yourself. And then I have the oracle cards. So I'll pick one for each. This is the Ascension deck. Did I just do that? Oh, sorry. So this is the Ascension deck. So first we'll pick one for the Divine Feminine. The organic Divine Feminine Twin Flames. What is the advice for the Divine Feminine? Divine Feminine. Divine Feminine, please. Divine Feminine. There we go. So we got Mother Mary's Aquamarine Mantle for the Divine Feminine. It's 52. I just told you my clock stopped at 9:52. So this may be very significant for the Divine Feminine. 52 is a 7. 7 is the spiritual number. It's of the inner world, the spiritual world, the quiet before the storm. It's related to psychologists and priests, religious people or spiritual people, just in general. It's the 2, which is the feminine energy on the inside, working through perpetual change on the outside, and being able to maintain your peace. Transmuting the change that will come at you constantly. That's what you're learning to do. You're learning to be perpetual transmuters. Okay, and not to be affected by change, to be able to go with the flow and not react to every new situation, that you may not be ready for. Being calm, allowing, and knowing that it will be fine, and responding instead of reacting to things. Okay, so what it says is the wondrous universal angel Mary radiates her high-frequency aquamarine light through the universes. She spreads compassion, empathy, kindness, healing, and love. Mother Mary suggests you open your heart and offer everyone who touches your path these higher qualities. Then she will grace you by placing her aquamarine mantle in your aura. You are reminded that there is only love, so there's nothing to forgive. As you wear this mantle, you become a force for healing and light, and the angels will sing blessings over you. And the affirmation is, I wear Mother Mary's mantle of love and enfold others in it, and Spirit's connecting with me. So for the Divine Masculine, the organic Divine Masculine Twin Flames, please. Divine Masculine Twin Flames, what is the advice? We got Archangel Metatron's Retreat, which is number 28. By the way, 52 for the Divine Feminine, that's the Queen of Swords, which came up in the read. Now, in the Divine Masculine read here, in the main read, there are no feminine court cards. Okay, the only feminines came up in the clarifiers, and that was the Nine of Pentacles, which isn't a court card, but it can be referred to as a feminine. And then the Queen of Swords, the King and Queen of Swords came up. Okay. So for the Divine Masculine, Archangel Metatron's Retreat is 28. 28 is the Two of Wands, the Twin Flames. It's also a 1, which is the masculine energy, new beginnings, leadership. It's about being selfish in a good way. And it's about invention, innovation. And it's the 2 and the 8. So it's the 8, which is inner strength, through the outer feminine energy. So on the outer sides, being able to see both sides of the situation, being a mediator, being patient and kind and loving, but on the inside being tough and strong. Archangel Metatron's retreat is above the temple of Luxor, Egypt. Okay, so Egypt came up in something I saw, so let's see where this goes, where he holds the ascension energy for the world. He maintains his energy by bringing forward spiritual discipline. Okay, and discipline came up again, self-discipline in your intuition and your spiritual practices, if you did not already have one. Luxor is the spiritual throat chakra, and the blue came up for the throat chakra of Earth. As it ascends, people will communicate higher wisdom and link telepathically with all life forms, which is why we're talking about animals as well, because we're connected to everything. As it ascends, okay, let's see that. You're asked to send love and wisdom to all sentient beings. This card invites you to visit Metatron's retreat in your sleep to accelerate your spiritual growth. And the affirmation is, I am visiting Metatron's retreat in my sleep tonight. Okay, that's for the Divine Masculine. So connect more with your pets and animals that you see, even bugs. Okay, like I've told you guys before, I've had pet ants all year that have kind of been protecting my house. I had 2 to 4 ants around my kitchen all the time who kept all the other ants out. And they would sleep in the middle of my counter, and when I come up to do dishes, they just hang out there and don't move. It's really funny. I'll stick my fingernail under their butt to get them to go. And believe me, I tried to take them outside, but they would come back every day. For weeks I did that. So it's just, when you become one, there's no conflict. The animals don't bother you. When I was sitting out on the lawn and that cat came up to me, my neighbor's cat, who wanted a lot of attention from me, while I was petting him, a bee was sitting on my phone, an ant was crawling up my leg. It's just constant. When you become one with the universe, no one's intimidated by you and no one attacks you. What energy you put out comes back to you. So that's just an example. Okay, so that's the Ascension deck. In the Past Life deck, which is this one. Okay. This is for the Divine Feminine. Whoop. And Divine Feminine got Knighthood and a Native American. Okay. So one of the things that came up in my messages was shaman, which is related to Native American. And again, here's that upside down portal. And I'm getting this too, again, for the teepee, that it's a funnel. But it's leaking. I'm also getting the space shuttle. So, and that I'm tying this back to, again, Niagara Falls. There's a portal there, but there's a leak. And something about a spaceship, because I'd seen a spaceship as well. So this is kind of syncing me with that. Native American. Yes, there was a shaman retreat, to be initiated. It's very spiritual and brings out a lot of awareness in the people who experience this, so it might be something you feminines want to look into as well as the masculines, but this is for the feminine. And then knighthood, so you might have been a knight in your past life, you might have been a Native American Indian in your past life, and it's tying these two together. And the bottom of the deck is about trust and faith. And they're very opposites. It's about trusting in both. The duality in your nature, the knight and the Native American Indian, they're very different. But you're going to have all of those qualities in yourself, and they're all of light. It's about integrating them together and keeping them in a balanced state. Not going to the extremes of one or the other. Not going to war, but not being completely apathetic as well. Okay, to find a balance between the two. and trusting and having faith. To not worry when you don't have the answers, to just allow, because they'll come to you. Okay, and then for the Divine Masculine, the organic Divine Masculine twin flames, what is the advice for them? What is the advice for the Divine Masculine? Okay. So we got unrequited love and spouse. Alright, so this looks like a break in a relationship. It ties in with the read that just happened. Saying that, yes, there may have been love there once, but it's no longer. The bottom of the deck is persecution and inquisition. And that may have been what the relationship felt like. And it may go back to Greek and Roman times. You feel like you're constantly being grilled. And you couldn't win. Atlantis was falling out as well, which ties into Egypt. So now we have the Journey of Love deck. And this is for the, we'll do the Divine Feminine first. So this is for the organic Divine Feminine twin flames. What is the advice? We have the Christ flame, which is number 31. The bottom of the deck is Distant Shores, if you're interested. It's a pretty card. It has the full moon again, too. But this is a very positive full moon. There's a four full moons in this picture. One, two, three. Yep, four full moons. That the smallest of the four is the brightest and spreads the most light to create waves. It's the number 18, which is the moon. And 18 happens to be my birthday, but 18 is a 9. It's about endings and compassion and universal selflessness. The 8 is inner strength, being strong on the inside, and on the outside being a leader. Being very transformative on the inside. Because a good leader isn't just about themselves. It's about having been through a lot. And Spirit's connecting with me so that they can personally relate to what they are leading others in. And Spirit's really connecting with me on that. Distant Shores, that was the bottom of the deck for the feminine. But the Divine Feminine actually got the Christ flame. This is number 31. 31 is the 5 of Wands. It's interesting because in the numerology book, 33 is the Christ vibration, but this is 31, the Christ flame. And in this picture, he's got a very sad look on his face. It's kind of like a hopeless look. 31 is the 5 of Wands, which is conflict, you know. It's him on the cross. It's change. There's always conflict and change. That's the pain that you feel when you go through this process, because it's change. But you don't have to feel that pain. You're learning how to transmute it and come back to joy very quickly, so you don't have to experience the pain that he experienced when he was on the cross. And this is the message I'm getting for that. 31 is a 4. 4 is about the root, because it's about stability and safety and security and building. It's just about structure. It's the 1, which is being selfish on the inside, but showing joy on the outside. The person who smiles all the time, who loves to socialize and just talk to people and get to know them. But the being selfish on the inside is what I'm getting, is what leads to the sorrow. Because if it's not real, it'll only lead to conflict. So 31, I'm going to read to you. And by the way, in this book, 33 is God speaks, whereas 33 is the Christ vibration. So here in the Christ flame, 31 says, "Within you burns the flame of the Christ. Beyond religion, this flame belongs to all hearts willing to receive the divine, opening to it as a lover would open the heart to receive the beloved. Though the awakening of the Christ within brings greater closeness to the divine and a reminder that this isn't about religion when we talk about Christ, it's about oneness." Okay? "And therefore greater love and depth of compassion, it too can bring sadness, righteous anger, and a passionate need to contribute positive healing action and change in the world. You may be an introspective soul who does this through mastering their inner world with meditation and yoga, raising your own vibration with absolute intent that this brings healing to the world around you. You may be an extroverted soul that thrives in sharing messages and living a life of dynamic action in support of the causes that are worthy and moving to your brave heart, capable of feeling divine outrage and responding with inspired action. You may be a combination of these soul types and choosing wisely what you consume, which companies you support, what television you do or don't watch, and what you read, voting for the life you want to have around you in the world through your actions, internal and external. This is the Christ flame igniting within you, setting the world aflame with the fire of divine love. This oracle brings guidance that you are connecting with the universal Christ consciousness, and your heart is meant to awaken as a sacred heart, bearing the Christ flame of divine love this lifetime. You are part of the wave of awakening happening on earth now. You're exactly where you're meant to be and doing exactly what you're meant to be doing. Keep going." And the poem reads, "Love is more than words can define. It is a feeling which wells up inside and longs for release. It is a smile which starts in my heart and spreads across my face like a silly grin. It is a knowing so deep in my being that every cell speaks a language only lovers know. And most of all," and Spirit was connecting with that one, "and most of all it is the beginning, the birth, the possibility, the promise of a tomorrow, the hope that grows into something we can only imagine when hearts combine and love becomes more." The Spirit's still connecting with me on that one. So for the Divine Masculine, this is the Organic Divine Masculine Twin Flames. What's the advice for the Divine Masculine is ethereal touch. The bottom of the deck is the light field for the Divine Masculine. And this has like 3 moons. You could even say 4 moons in this background too. Only it's more watery, but challenging watery, like lots of movement. The light field, but it's really light, but it looks watery. 63 is a 9 again, so that's universal selflessness, compassion, endings. It's the 3, the joy on the inside, working through the love and family and community on the outside, so being very motherly on the outside. I'm trying to think what that is too. 6 of Swords. 7, 8. So this is the 9 of Swords, the light field. Okay, so there can be pain there. So that's why there's such turbulent, watery look in that card. The card that came out, though, for the Divine Masculine is Ethereal Touch. And that's number 27. I don't know if you can see that well with the reflection. But so 27 again is a 9 also. Universal selflessness, love and compassion, endings. It's the 7, which is very spiritual and quiet on the inside, through the feminine energy on the outside. So being the peacemaker. They're 2 of the most peaceful numbers, 2 and 7. So it's being a very, very peaceful person. But being a mediator, peacemaker on the outside, very loving and kind and patient. 27 is the Ace of Wands, believe it or not. So the Ace of Wands is all about creativity and sexual energy. The divine feminine energy is very, what's the word I'm looking for? My brain isn't working at the moment, sorry about that. But just a very peaceful energy as opposed to the aggressive masculine energy. It reads Ethereal Touch, number 27. Spirit is present in your very touch at this time, and you're having an impact on the world around you, particularly your close relationships, in ways that are far more profound than may be immediately obvious. The touch of your soul is ethereal, spiritual, of light and sound. It moves the heart and opens pathways of possibility through love, faith, and trust that would otherwise be impossible to access. Trust in the presence of the divine in your touch, physical and spiritual. Your healing presence is making waves of love rise and stir in this world. And the divine lives and breathes through you, beloved. Remember that though the sacred temple of your body gifts you with hands through which you hold and give, and a reminder that a lot of the divine masculine, work with their hands, it is the soul within the flesh that renders touch as sacred healing. Okay? This oracle guides you to accept and embrace your healing abilities and to trust that you can feel your way through life by opening your hands and spirits connecting with me, to receive and taking hold of the opportunities that are presented to you. You're meant to touch the world with your spirit. In a world of no coincidences and no mistakes, you are heaven sent. I thank God for the opportunity to know you and spirits connecting with me, to experience your kindness, your generosity, and most of all, our love. How long I've waited to open my heart, to bare my soul, and let my power comfort and my arms hold, to let my wisdom counsel and my love awaken. While this is only the beginning, when I look in your eyes, I know. It's really beautiful. Okay, so for the divine masculine, to believe in your spiritual abilities. Okay, it's not about your ego and what you as a masculine can do. It's who your soul is, how you came into this world, who you truly are. Okay. So I want to thank everyone, as usual, for their likes, shares, subscribes, and your comments. Please comment on all my syncs if it relates to you. And if you need anything, go to my website. All the information is below. And just be good to yourselves this week. Things are going good. The energy's good. It was really sunny today, but the sun went away. I heard some things about this weekend being very transformational. We are in Scorpio, which is traditionally very transformational. It's about the Phoenix rising. It's about very deep transformation and healing. So, and being that it's a Halloween weekend, a lot of things should be coming up for this weekend. Okay, so be good to yourselves, keep the faith. Believe in your own knowing. Don't be swayed by others. Don't forget that even in the best intentions of all of the people that you watch, if the dark just gets one word in there, it can change your whole perception of what you've heard. So to always trust your own intuition first, because the dark, the closer you get to union, the more the dark are going to try to interfere. They don't want you to come into union. So just always trust your own knowing. No fear, just trust. Okay? You are who you are, and you know that. Don't allow your external environment to change that knowing. Trust yourself. And rise and be loved, guys. Have an amazing, amazing week. Okay? Bye. Have a fun Halloween.